Like most 12-year-olds, Braden Yee spends a lot of time on his iPad. But he isn't playing video games. Braden is exploring the world of sound, sight, and information that his brain absorbs and communicates in a different way.
He was not responding to his name, didn't have any language, couldn't follow a point if I pointed to something.
Kim Walsh, Braden's mother, says he was diagnosed with autism at about 15 months, a diagnosis she originally feared.
When you realize that his life is going to be so much harder, there's grief involved there. And there's a lot of unknowns because autism is such a spectrum and you just don't know how far will he progress. Do you want cucumbers or peppers? I forget.
Braden's developmental delays can make conversation challenging, but early on, Kim noticed something unique. Music. Not only did Braden grab on to any instrument he could find, it was able to reach him in a way that language could not. So she signed him up for piano lessons.
Braden was playing all the ringtones on my phone and, some commercial jingles and things like that.
After just 8 weeks, at the age of 5, Braden was communicating his soul through sound.
At first there's a little bit of shock, like, where did this come from? Because I'm not musical. There's just such joy in it when he plays, because it makes him so happy and so centered and so calm that I can just enjoy it.
This piano prodigy has developed a space where not only he can interact, but thrive.
His natural speech sometimes can be so laborious for him and such a struggle and so much work. But when he's in front of a camera or in front of an audience, it's like it just clicks for him. But to me, to see other people appreciate him the way that I appreciate him is huge.
Performing in front of large audiences like here at the Art Gala to small audiences at nursing homes, this one of his favorites.
Tell us what you like about it.
People sing along.
Ask Braden and he'll tell you it's
nothing special.
We wholeheartedly disagree, though he wasn't able to voice his playlist.
I don't know which song to play is my favorite.
He was able to show us.
First, you gotta start recording.
Both how to do our jobs and his own, never missing a detail.
Sometimes I make mistakes, guys.
Maybe Braden, but he doesn't need a music book. He just plays. As the beauty of his ability fills this home with moving notes, his mother beyond proud, but it is not his piano playing that tops that list.
I am more proud of the things that he has accomplished that were hard for him than the things he's done that came easily to him.
Kim's hope is that the world not touched by autism or disability will understand that behind this infectious smile, beyond the obstacles, is a human, just like the rest of us.
He's a whole person. He's not one-dimensional or two-dimensional. He's not just somebody who can play the piano really well or somebody that has a disability. He has hopes and dreams for the future.
Among those things, lessons about love beyond the borders of what many perceive as normal. I guess that would make Braden extraordinary.
Every one of us has something to offer, and when things are really, really hard, that's when you find your best self, because you have to dig deep and you have to persevere.
Incredible. And Kim says that Braden spent a year, like so many people, learning remotely, both for school and piano lessons.
And last month he performed in an event and he won Best Performing Artist. He competed. It was very exciting. He wants to perform live again and he hopes to be on TV one day. And Braden, you've already done that.
I think all that's coming and more. And that is Chronicle for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Anthony Everett.
And I'm Shayna Seymour. Have a good one. We'll see you back here on Monday night. Have a great weekend, everyone.